7% of your communicative ability is words. 7%. 7%. That's it. The other 93% is tone of voice, facial expression, body language. That all makes up the 100% communicative ability. So if 7% of your communication is words, then what we're asking you to do in this class, in any class where we ask you to write an essay or an email or a letter, is to communicate with only 7% of your ability. If I asked you to use 7% of your ability to do anything else, you'd probably look at me like I was kind of crazy. Sometimes they'll say, well, what if you use 7% of your ability to shower? One guy said, oh, well, I just wash my hands. Another girl said I wouldn't even bother leaving the house, period. So, if you want to practice with that, since this is an online course and we don't have to see the results, that's fine. Go ahead. But the point is that writing is not essentially, but is using only 7% of your ability to communicate. Think about that for just a second. 7%. 7%. So, if you think that writing essays is hard, difficult, tricky, annoying, tiring, you're right. Writing is a skill. Lots of times people like to think of it as this secret kind of, talent that you can either do it or you can't. Well, it simply just isn't true. Everybody can write. And in this day and age, more and more often you need to. This online hybrid course is a perfect example. We are communicating not only in your essays, but the majority of the course material using just over 7%. You have a question about the class, you got to type it up on the question board. 7% of your ability. You guys send me an email because you're concerned about a personal schedule conflicting. 7% of your ability. You write that 7 to 10 page research paper, which is argumentative, arguing not only a complex concept or about a complex concept, but that you're right. You not only have to be clear, but you have to convince your readers that you're right, be persuasive, using 7% of your ability. Now, I don't say this to scare you. I say this so that you understand what you're coming into. Even professional writers, they don't just sit down and knock out novels. It's just not how it happens. Maybe the first draft works that way for some people. But there's always an edit. There's always a rewrite. There's always something that happens. That I sat down, I wrote it. It was absolutely the best it could possibly be. Basically doesn't exist, as one of the quotes on your course banner says so elegantly. The first draft of anything is shit, because it is. In college, I had a whole file folder called shitty first drafts, because that's what they are. Even if it's good, even if it's really good, even if it's good enough to get you a passing grade or the grade that you want, you can do better. You can always do better. Yes, we're taking away 93% of your communicative ability. That sucks. But we're giving to you the chance to revise and perfect what you say. And so if you write a draft or you write a final draft for the course and you never take advantage of that, you're only hurting yourself. You can do so much better. When we talk, we can't edit. We don't have that luxury. Once it's out of our mouth, they've heard it, it's there, and it's said and done. When we talk, we also pause. We speak imperfectly. We say I know I've said in this video. It's a verbal pause. You should just shut your mouth, think, continue the sentence, but most people don't talk like that. We say, well, so like is another verbal pause that we throw in there. So we don't get to edit that. We just are who we are. We speak how we speak. With writing, you have the chance to think about what you're going to say in advance. You have the chance to then go back, make sure it's exactly what you wanted to say, and also to make it even better than what it was. And that's the nice part. How do we deal with that? One way is grammar, spelling, and punctuation. I know, but it's true. You know these little emoticon guys. Flip them this way, they look like a face. Flip them this way or this way, however you do it. They still look like a face because we've been programmed to recognize these as, you know, happy, as I don't know. I doubt very many people actually make this face in real life. But you know, it's kind of that it's capturing an emotion. It's not capturing like an actual expression. It's capturing an emotion, and we feel compelled to add those because there are so many email messages or Facebook posts or text messages that get misunderstood. I'm sure everyone watching this video at some point has sent some kind of written communication, text message, email most likely, and the person on the other end took it completely wrong. Naturally, we're sitting here by ourselves at the computer, and that 93% is with us. They can't see it, but it's still going on. We're still feeling it. So we type the words, we send them off, feeling like that other 93% is attached, and it's not. It's not attached. So, you know, something as simple as "it's a great day." Written, we kind of have to assume that they mean what they say. There might be some other context, but you know, somebody can come in and say, "It's a great day!" Or, you know, yeah, it's a great day. You know, there's a difference between those two people. They're saying the exact same thing. Grammar, spelling, punctuation, they're the precursors to the emoticons. Exclamation points are the most obvious, but dashes, we'll talk about them later. They're actually the drama queen of the punctuation word. Commas help with clarity and meaning. One comma can change the entire meaning of the sentence. The entire meaning. And we'll talk more about that when we discuss commas, but they are all there for a reason. It's all there for clarity. A lot of people think Shakespeare is hard to read. People who have read or seen the original Chaucer know that that's like learning a new language. But the truth is, it's English. It is English. It is simply the exact same language that has changed over time. British English, American English, you can look at that. Technically, same language, but different things. And not even across the sea, but regionally here in the United States, you go to different states. How do you say soda? Difference. Do you call it a soda? Do you call it a pop? Do you call it a CB, a carbonated beverage? Do you call it a Coke? It's all soda Coke, like it is in the South, which is, for me personally, really confusing. Because I like Pepsi, and so it's like, oh, well, you want a Coke? No, I want a Pepsi. Yeah, you want a Coke. Oh, okay. I want a Coke. How we speak is kind of regulated in academic writing. We're all supposed to use this standard English. So we're supposed to avoid colloquial things and slang, and we'll talk more about this next week, you know, writing to your audience, etc. But it's all meant to put us on an even playing field when we go in and start communicating with that 7%, so that we can read it, so that it slows down the change of language.